there.
Hi, I'm Amanda Vallis, and I'm here with Cindy at Soul Sanctuary Blessings. I'm here for a 60-minute healing session, and today my intention or focus I just finished my healing session with Cindy. It was very relaxing. I feel kind of now, actually I have some pressure over my head and my face. For most of the session I was kind of in a trance-like state, so sleeping but kind of aware of my surroundings at the same time. Had more visions of past things happening, and was just trying to envision future and like what I wanted to bring to my life now and going forward, I guess. Yeah, it was I felt just super relaxed, and time went by super fast, and yeah.
And how are you feeling? You're feeling light? Do you feel lighter?
I feel lighter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I actually thought there was something on my forehead when I woke up. So I just had that feeling, yeah, and just feeling peaceful and relaxed.
Great energy. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so you saw the clip now of a lady who came in for a shamanic Reiki session. And so, as you can tell, after she got up from the healing, she seemed, not quite back into her body, because sometimes when we are in this, trance-like state, it's almost like we're conscious as to what we're receiving, but then yet we're kind of asleep. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is the way spirit works for those that are maybe too logical. And so it's almost a way of surrendering. So allowing spirit to activate within the body without, having that control there, right? And to be free and surrender to the blessings that are being imposed or bestowed upon this Hayley. So, it does take time for them to kind of recuperate and to really take in what was being shared. And so a lot of it is internalizing. So 3 to 5 days, again, Spirit's going to continue working on her. And so she'll get clarity, she'll get all kinds of things that's going to fall into place, and it actually fast-forwarded, fast forward and paste kind of thing. And so it'll be nothing but blessings for sure, and, great outcomes. But yes, as you can see in the clip, it just took her time to kind of recuperate and, to kind of put things into words and stuff like that. So, but I'm going to trust in that everything else will just kind of, like I said, it'd be nothing but blessings. So anyway, so now I'm going to go into this next clip on how to prepare for these healings. Okay? All right, stay tuned. Hi guys, thanks for tuning into Soul Sanctuary Blessings. I'm just jumping on very quickly. I was not prepared for this, so I don't have, a lot of makeup or my hair done in any way, but I just finished doing a healing and I thought, wow, not many people know of me and know of a shaman in the Calgary region, and if so, they're very low-key. So I think that shamanism should be on the forefront at this time, and Spirit is kind of like forcing a lot of us really that are intuitives to really basically hone in on our gifts, our healing gifts and things like that. So anyway, I just wanted to touch up on how to prepare for coming to for a healing session with me. And I didn't mention this prior to, but I feel like not many people know how to prepare. They figure that, you just come and that's it. No, to see a shaman for my specific self, I have requirements in preparation too. And so in the healings that I do are soul retrievaling, And it's a lot of what the shamans do nowadays. And so what soul retrieval is basically, to kind of sum it up, it's basically like for someone who maybe experienced some sort of trauma in their past, in this life, but maybe past experiences, and it was so traumatic, so much so that our soul tends to, what happens is that our soul tends to leave the body because it's so traumatic, where it can't comprehend the feelings, the sensations, and it becomes numb and can't handle it. So then our soul tends to leave, and so that's also called a soul loss. So those that are kind of feeling numb, depressed, confused, there's many factors and elements that are involved in what you may be feeling at this time, and so of course that leads to suicidal thoughts. And so a soul loss is very, very it can be healed through soul retrieval. So basically what we do is we call upon that soul to come back once we go in, and we clear some things that might be coming about, the emotions that we maybe suppress along the way, and honoring these feelings and the emotions that are coming through. And then by doing that, the soul then, it's like creating this space for the soul to come back in, if that makes sense. So through this releasing and then embracing and restoring, it's also ways of releasing threatening energies, blockages, aura cleansing, healing one's unconscious programming within the preconditioning of our parents, and how we might have been brought up in fear and doubt and things like that. So that's also being cut off. So cutting the ties off that to reset as an adult, and releasing bad habits, maybe genetic curses, and trauma of past lives even. So there's a lot of factors that are involved as we do the soul retrieval. And I actually printed out some how to prepare overview, and also the aftercare. So I'll do a separate video for the aftercare, but for now we're just going to focus on how to prepare for, like I said, this healing, or these healings that come about. And again, just to clarify, no two healings are the same. Every time you come, it's in divine order. It's how you've been guided by your guides, and how it was needed at this time, so that they can help better you. So you can, let me just rephrase that, so that they can bring light and help to you, so that you can self-heal in a more harmonious fashion, kind of thing. So so in preparation to some things to keep in mind. So I work with ancient spirits, okay? As a shaman, most of us do. And I mean, when we tap into that, I mean, if we have that awakening and, the force was like, hey, you need to open up to these gifts, because, the planet needs it right now. And so if you're one of those people, then great, kudos to you that you're listening, because as a shaman, I encourage, either the spirit is like, really like, you need to open up to your spiritual self. You need to open up to your gifts, because this is the season where it's very much needed for the planet, okay? All right, anyway, preparation overview. So be mindful, so if you're pre-booked, and a lot of times I ask to prepay the day of your healing, because after the healing, it's really time to reflect. So I always ask to refrain from electronics as best as possible, and to give yourself that space of healing, self-healing, by just doing something where you're detached from society, from the outside world, and from everyone. just so you can self-reflect. And I like to always mention this by, from leaving the healing space, I ask that you go straight home and get into an Epsom salt bath with some candles and really nurture yourself that way, and allowing yourself to manifest, also to release, whatever is that's remaining, because within 3 to 5 days after the healing, Spirit is going to continue working on you, and helping you work on you. This is all part of self-healing. It's do the work, okay? So yes, getting into the bath and really allowing yourself to release and just to be, all right? And so yeah, just do that. And then when you're doing that, fine, you go ahead and you listen to the aftercare instructions, and a lot of it is journaling or just being, okay, in silence and listening to whatever Spirit is directing you or guiding you to move forward into your journey in a much harmonious fashion, okay? And also releasing the environment, energies that are not of love or support for you and your journey, okay? So keep that in mind. So what happens is that I said to prepay e-transfer maybe the day of, right before you come. That way, again, it's not taking away from your healing once you leave this space, okay? And so even before that, before booking, I always acknowledge or give them, instructions on how to prepare. And so what happens is that these ancient spirits that, are working through me is also, accompanying those healies that are coming in for these, this revamp that they're searching for. And so what happens is that when they book and they've prepaid, I go and I tell Spirit to automatically go and start working on them, okay? In preparation to the healing in all areas of their life. So just bringing light, shining light on how to prepare them to come, okay? Normally it starts to activate just as they already have paid, and it's more so the night of. So within the 24 hours, they might have dreams. And let's see, there's actually a list here, because I've been just kind of putting together, like it saves me time, and not only time, but just like the repetitiveness of it, of repeating myself. So I thought this was the best way to do it, and it's just to print it out, right? So anyway, so here I have, just take mental note on how you are feeling, sensing, and things like that. So within the 24 hours now, so pay attention to the dreams, if there is any at all. Then, if there is, then it's better that, upon arrival that, you can share and say, hey, I had this dream and it showed me this. Perfect. And then this is a way we can just discuss, because sometimes I'll have a dream that will then complement, the Haley's dream. So it just really brings clarity in the situation. So anyway, moving forward, these are maybe some of the symptoms that you might receive. So majority of the guests will either receive the following symptoms: cold, flu-like symptoms, feeling of canceling, not being able to sleep at night, nervousness, vomiting, diarrhea. Diarrhea and vomiting are usually mostly found in cancer patients, okay, due to their chemo and chemotherapy and things like that. Numbness, anxiety, depression, tripping, feeling clumsy. Insightful awareness will come around, about signs from the universe, possibly strong synchronicities leading up to the session. So these are all symptoms that everybody's different, that may pick up on, okay? So just to be aware, and it's bringing awareness and taking mental note as to what's happening, and then it kind of lets us know how Spirit is already working through them and preparing them moving forward, okay? It is important to have the will Oh yeah, it's important to have the willpower. I always stress this more than enough, because again, the morning of, I'm not feeling good, I can't come. Okay, these are just excuses, because there is an intervention that is needed. Okay, so I always say it's important to have the willpower to overcome and work through these energies to help benefit, not for you and you in the long run. So these symptoms could be attached to addictions, suicidal depressions, PSTD, childhood wounds, physical or emotional and or psychological energetic confusion. Okay, and that, this could be built up throughout the years as well. So another thing to kind of clarify is that shamanic Reiki is a lot different than Reiki. It's more intense, and again, we see the dark as we do see the light, or we'll sense, right? So a lot of it is really, I'm an empath, so I kind of pick up on some of the signals within my body that might be affecting you and yours, kind of thing. Or I'll just get downloads. So there's different ways that spirit works through me. I'm more clairvoyant in the night, so I'll always ask for clarity the night before the Haley comes as to why they need to come, because again, spirit works through them. They then book through me, and then it just kind of, it's in divine order, really. Okay, and never do we doubt, and that we're always in the right place at the right time. Make sense? Okay. To continue, to ensure your visit runs smoothly, this is what I suggest, is that each patient that pre-books a healing session with myself must note that spirit will be prepping you the night before and the day of the session. Applies to both locals and those flying in. There's amazing stories there. I do have some, let's see, some cases on that as well. So maybe I can do another channel just sharing what it is. But anyways, it's quite interesting, because they were just like, what the heck? Like, things were just so falling into place, as we landed at the airport, and we smelled incense of this, and it was just amazing. And then just the people that they were encountering were just like clarification and confirmation moving forward. So anyway, it was great to hear, there's just the feedback of how spirit's already working on them before they even landed here in Calgary. It's amazing. So anyway, upon arriving, please ensure you are dressed in all white from head to toe. Write down 3 set intentions, and a lot of people don't understand what intentions are, so we say wishes. So write down 3 wishes, what you would like to see to come to fruition, okay? And think outside the box, like think glamorous, like glam, as we say, but think large. Don't limit yourself to what you can receive and what the universe can bless you with, okay? So there's that. And then of course, visit the restroom beforehand, because it could be 60 to 90 minute session. So you want to make sure that you're all cleared. You will be handed a general medical consent release from myself. And, I'll add it to your profile as a reference for current and future visits. And so as far as visits go, like I said, no 2 healings are ever the same. And in fact, it's more of a, you become a vessel where spirit is just going to entice you to be like the teacher that you are, okay? Because we all are. And the more that we open up to our spiritual gifts, we become, not only, as students, we're teachers as well. So to be great teachers, you must be students, okay? So it works vice versa, and I really encourage, like I said, when you come on your 3rd visit, man, it's like spirit just like, it's time to teach now, right? So get certified in these areas or whatever it may be, and really hone into your own gifts, okay? Because we all need it. Let's see, a brief consultation will take place where 2 parties will sign off and proceed with the healing. This way, myself will be aware where I can focus and, what I can call in for the healing energies and restoration, purification, for the specifics of your medical elements for mind, body, and soul, as it will be reset, and then a spirit ignition, of course, depending on your intentions. Either way, you're going to have this, purification, awakening, and just really like, it's almost like an ignition within your abilities, your spiritual abilities. Will just kind of be enlightened. In full force, really. Some people like, as soon as they leave, they're like, oh my God, I see 555777 on the license plate and everywhere and the signage, and I can just feel like I'm just like flying, and which is perfect. Everything gets kind of reinforced and pushed to, like you to be at your best, which is great. You will be given aftercare instructions, which I mentioned, and then also stay hydrated 3 to 5 days after the healing. Preferably water, and to refrain from alcohol, anything that's contaminating, okay? To prepare, so that's basically it. I do offer the remote healings as well, and there's also preparation to that, just very similar actually, so nothing else. And just, honestly, just to expect, life-altering boost or experience within self. And that's pretty much it. I think I want to do like a wealth wisdom reading. I'm just gonna pull a card for us moving forward. But anyway, I just wanted to give you insight as to how Soul Sanctuary Blessings works. As a shamanic healer, I just try to enhance everybody's abilities from within, and I encourage you just to be at your best and to try new things and take risks, just really making this planet a better place. Okay, all right, so thank you, Spirit, for coming forward, Ancient Spirit, and we thank you for pulling just a healing message for this group, whoever is tuning in to this video. We thank you in advance. Here we go. So I'm just going to spread them out, knowing that this is it here. I just feel here. And I guess apparently we all have to meditate a little more. Okay? So I'm going to read the action that they're requiring. Okay? So the universe is reminding you that the answers you seek are found within. And you can easily find those answers by meditating. So I really reinforce this, in my aftercare and recovery, because not a lot of us are open to meditation. So meditation doesn't necessarily mean you have to go into a yoga pose and meditate for 5 to 15 minutes to begin with. But it's probably the best way to do is just to detach from the world, really isolate yourself first thing in the morning, or even get out into nature, by the trees and journal, or meditate, plant yourself down, on the ground and ask for grounding. But there's many ways to meditate, and that's through painting, that's through writing, that's through music, musical instruments. So whatever it is, it's just honoring your soul, and again, detaching from what others think, anything that might be just not feeding into our soul. Meditation is like a connection to source, and it allows us to honor our soul, releasing healing energies for ourselves, but others too that are listening, right? So for the action, what they're asking is to meditate effectively. It helps to set your conscious thinking mind aside so that you can listen to your soul. To do so, you may find it helpful to listen to a guided meditation. So I always stress that out, and even try for 5 minutes guided meditations on YouTube, or, and then increase it to 10 minutes, and then 15, at least 15 minimum, okay, to begin your day. Other ways to occupy your mind and ego include walking on the beach. If you're by the beach, by all means, go for it. Sitting in a quiet place, lying down, reading a book, and being in nature. Allow you to receive guidance and support. Prayer is asking, while meditating is listening. Oh my God, I wrote this in my book actually, so this is perfect. Yes, so what I stress is about when we go into prayer, it's about, asking oh, this would be so nice to have. I thank you for, you know, this and that or whatever. And then when you go into meditation, you're actually giving God the time to respond to you through the senses that he has gifted us. So we may smell something, we may envision something in our third eye. You know, we could be hearing, you know, something on the radio. Once we're done the meditation, the signs could be given as, you know, it follows after the meditation, because you were asking to see the signs, you know, from God and from our guardian angels, past loved ones, our ancient spirits, you know. So it's so this is great. Meditate. Okay, so I guess a lot of us need to meditate a little more, and really creating a healing space for ourselves as well as others as well, as being a service to others. So that's it, guys. Thank you again for tuning into Soul Sanctuary Blessings. Again, just how to prepare for a shamanic Reiki healing with me, Cindy Jurado. Have yourself a blessed day. Again, to continue to live in your heart space and create your happiness. All right, from my heart and home to yours, I send you nothing but blessings. Peace.